Kia ora, my name is Lisa Gru and this is my Leadership in Digital and Collaborative Learning Assessment 2. My change initiative was focused on developing whānau engagement and also developing learner responsibility for their work in my classroom. For this reason, I needed to find a digital tool that would help achieve both of these together. Instead of whānau attending one hui term where students share a goal-setting book. Although this is still a great opportunity, this does not allow them to follow their learning journey. For this reason, I decided to implement a tool called Seesaw, which is popular amongst a lot of New Zealand schools. Seesaw is a student-driven digital portfolio that also allows for simple parent communication. Evidence I gathered to see what the impact of my innovation was whānau feedback from the principal and student surveys that were conducted. This is what I have found. 1 found the peer feedback is developing more to do with what the learning intention is, and they enjoyed seeing real-time learning on a daily basis and also enjoyed the fact that this produced good learning conversations. Parent 2 enjoyed seeing what her son was learning. He always reminds me to write feedback on his work, and I can tell he is really proud of what the students thought of Seesaw. They thought Seesaw was a good website for parents to see their work. They thought it was more useful than their goal-setting books, and they understood their learning has improved because they can see how they are getting better. They thought it was a good tool because they could see their learning journey, and they thought it was good because they could see what they were learning about. It has helped them improve, giving it more effective feedback, becoming more responsible for their work, and improving their work quality because they know their parents can see it. What is their favourite parts about Seesaw? Being on it anytime, anywhere, their parents being able to see what they do during the day, and watching everyone's work. Valuable feedback was from our principal. She found this tool very valuable. She found that the students quickly became accustomed to posting evidence of their learning where they get immediate feedback. This has been a motivator for our students to create quality pieces of work to demonstrate what they have learned. I think it's great that we have yet another tool in our classroom to help us engage. Leading this change with my class and the whānau, there were some changes that happened. Students were enjoying the fact that they had to present their work. They were able to find next steps from their work. They are now more enthusiastic about giving feedback, and they were more accountable for their learning. Positives that have happened from this change. Students are now taking more responsibility for their learning. They have learned how to give more effective feedback and feed forward, and they are reflecting on their work using their success criteria and published work to ensure it is suitable to post. Parents are now understanding the value of feedback from them to their child. There were numerous things that have improved since this change: the type of feedback being given by peers, teacher and whānau engagement in their child's learning, and the quality and production of their learners' work. What I could have done better next time: introduce the change initiative early for all staff and classes in our school and keep track of where everyone is at. Put more pressure on the parents about the importance of being involved in their students' learning and the impact of feedback from parents. I could have also created some sort of incentive to help with whānau engagement. For example, if I was to introduce Dojo to the whānau, PD on what this app is and how you use it would be required. More emphasis on how whānau engagement activity would help make this app successful in our classroom. As Smith 1998 states, the concept of whānau provides a school with synergy. While leading this change initiative, I believe a transformational leadership style was the most appropriate to help make it successful. HOG 2018 talks about how a transformational leader in design needs to have a willingness to take on a new challenge and take on risks. The Lack of motivation and push for importance of whānau engagement in the child's learning. This is one aspect of transformational leadership I should have emphasized more. As a result of this, whānau engagement was not as successful as I had initially hoped. Employing the leadership style laissez-faire may have affected the motivation and engagement within the whānau. There was no urgency created, and the lack of support in downloading the app onto their phones would have been a huge factor into why we only had 30% of whānau members sign up. A study on the laissez-faire leadership style by Bradford, Lippert and White 1945 described laissez-faire leadership as a leader's disregard of supervisory. My understanding around leadership was particularly based around only having one leadership style, and that this style or theory is what I need to use while leading my change initiative. But in fact, Gerbis and, for example, the situational theory, Hersey, Blanchard and Johnson 1969 mentioned in situational leadership theory, leaders place more or less emphasis on the task and more or less emphasis on the empowerment of the people they're leading, depending on what's needed to get the job done successfully. This is the leadership style I used on my students. On reflection, situational leadership theory helped me to lead students in some whānau in this change initiative. I also realised that if I had used situational leadership style more than transformational, this may have been more helpful in the success of my whānau involvement to get the best impact and outcome for my followership too. Another understanding on leadership I adopted was that leadership was you lead the change. You gave a bit of support, but the motivation to follow and learn should come from the followership. After studying the transformational leadership, Avolio and Bass confirm this. As I have previously stated, whilst leading this new innovation, the motivation could have been a key point in getting more. The impact on my future leadership: 1. Start with a plan. 2. Encourage your students to become their own leaders, work with their parents, create more motivation within the stakeholders, use a variety of leadership styles when leading anything, find a more collaborative approach where we could collaborate with the whānau on PLD. Firstly, Kahika Tea's 2013 to 2017's vision meant ensuring that all Māori students, their parents and whānau participate and contribute to an engaging and enjoyable educational journey. This was a core influence on the implementation of this change. The understanding of whānau engagement and contribution, giving them PD around understanding the importance of feedback and feed forward. This could then lead to building 21st century learners skills within the students and the whānau in the future. In conclusion to this change initiative,